Alright guys, just thought I'd do a bit of an update. I'll take my glasses off because it's reflecting. First thing is, I've got my little gas stove now. We've got our little table set up and everything else, so the cooking stuff's going to be starting soon. We'll probably get some ingredients this week as well. I've also waiting for confirmation to do a video on one of the supermarkets. They're actually going to let me go in early to do the video as well because they've asked me to do it. The point being is there is other stuff coming up. But one of the things I do want to stress on the channel is I'm not interested in the politics side. Now, one of the things I do stress, I mean, when people bring up the Brexit, it's quite simply I don't see things changing that much. And you may see things being rebranded or changing a driving license or something else, but it's not going to be catastrophic. So the point for me is I'm just shelving it. And for most people, I recommend doing the same. They're even talking about driving licenses, and if it doesn't happen, this is what you need to do. You know what? Doesn't matter. Until it happens, it hasn't happened. And all this false advice in the sense that you end up with a lot of distorted information between what could happen and what is happening and what you need to do compared to what you may need to do. Just shelve it. So just want to get that out there. Some confusion with some of the Spaniards relating to the video I did on I Hate Spain. If they watched the video, they would actually understand that it's not me that actually hated Spain. I was actually referring to a blog post that somebody had posted. But it's quite funny, some of the abusive comments you get. But also shows that they didn't even watch the video. But one of the things I want to stress is there's several questions people asked. Well, the first one is I hate foreigners, which was sort of directed at me and just the general population. People always say that sort of thing when they've got that viewpoint until they go abroad, then they complain that people treat them the way they're trying to treat other people. One of the things I would say is just look in the mirror. It's not a nice thing to say to people, but also, what is your foundation of it? Another one was the foreigners are stealing the houses in Spain. Where we live on the coast, this used to be a fishing village, La Mata, and I think there was about 200 houses here before, and it is a tourism development. There isn't much fishing industry here. There is in Torrevieja and up at Guadamar. But La Mata doesn't really, well, even its jetty needs rebuilt. So it's not a case of jobs were stolen, houses were stolen here, and a lot of the developments in this area are purely for tourism. So they weren't here before. So I wouldn't say they've been stealing those properties from Spaniards or whatever. Now, you could ask the same in places like Barcelona, Madrid or whatever, but I would also argue the point there that when you look at the villages outside in the more remote areas, they're losing their populations on a regular basis as the younger people move to the cities to work. It's very easy to blame the foreigners for everything. And the reality is you've got people coming, a local migration going on as well as tourism. But nobody wants to talk about that because it doesn't suit. The UK does the same. You get the same with the tabloids and stuff. And for me, this is what I'm saying. I'm not interested in it. A lot of it's unfounded, and even when you start going through and start trying to say, look, do you look at this? Do you look? People start swearing at you. So this is why I just don't bother. So I just want to stress that. Myself, a bit disappointed with my doctor. They cancelled the appointment just before I was literally going there. They phoned up as we were on the way. Not happy. Didn't say why the doctor wasn't there. It is a spinal specialist, so it's not a case of they could just refer me to the next doctor along. It's actually their specialist at that clinic. So I've got to wait another month on that. Not happy about it. Not a lot I can do about it. But they did say they may be able to move my appointment depending on what's happening with this doctor. No idea if he's sick. No idea if he's quit. No idea what's going on. But we'll wait and see on that. I have complained to the insurance company sort of saying, look, send me over to another clinic because I can't stand up for after about a 45 minutes. I was helping Maureen the other day and I had to lay down for 2 hours afterwards, and it hurt for 2 days afterwards. So it's not a case of it's not a problem. It is a problem. My back is a complete pain in the back. So that's a bit frustrating, especially when you pay a premium for the insurance in the first place. But I'm not going to say mañana, because quite simply, I don't know why the doctor's not there. And they're normally pretty good. So the MRI was done within, I think, was it a couple of weeks? Where in the UK, I was talking to my uncle about, I think he had an MRI done for his hip or something, and that took 2 months to get the MRI. So, but then again, that's NHS, not private. So, yeah, leave it at that. The food videos, we've started working on what we're going to do with the food videos in the sense of what we're going to actually make. One of the things we want to focus on initially is Spanish dishes. So we'll do paella. We'll do some of the stuffed mushrooms and things like that. And we're going to have a chat with our friends in Guatemala related to their organic farm, because we may be able to do something with their organic food up there, because I'd love to promote them while we're doing it. And they've got these really good peppers. The peppers, what they do with them is they put them on the beach in the sand, and they sit there for just under a month, and they naturally dry. So when you open the jar, you can smell it, because it's naturally dried. Where the factory ones are sort of rolled and whatever, the quality just isn't there. But even with the watermelons, the tomatoes, and pretty much everything they're producing, because it's not only organic, but also a lot of it is older foods, in the sense that the tomatoes are traditional tomatoes. They haven't been altered for commercial farming, in the sense that with the tomatoes, they're quite heavy. The skins aren't as thick, very juicy, full of flavour. But with the factory ones, what you normally have is they're artificially brought to colour. You know, they go from green to red. Sometimes they gas them. They're much younger. The skins are thicker for transportation. So the two are very, very different. And that's one of the things I do want to stress to you. When you start tasting this sort of stuff, you recognise that they're not the same. They're completely different breed. But also you're looking at older traditional farming, in the sense that that farm's been there for 300 years. And also they're going back to their roots, basically, using some of the older methods, using the older crops, which is, if you do get the opportunity, I'll have to ask them about doing a taster day up there, because I do recommend buying from there, because you can actually taste the difference very easily. Anyway, going off on a tangent. So one of the things I want to try and do is like that. I want to try and use their peppers and stuff, and give you a bit of a show on those, and you know, maybe get somebody to come and taste them and do a bit with us. Maybe speak to some of the chefs here and see if they want to prepare some stuff as well, and see if they're interested. But I want to try and make the channel a bit more varied. I know I spend a lot of time sat like this on the sofa talking to you guys. And that's because I'm sat on this here at the same time, because this is sort of like I've got a break for 20 minutes, I'm waiting on a phone call. So I'm working in the background, but I want to try and get my work schedule down to an 8-hour day, and then try and fit all this stuff around it. When I say 8 hours a day, it's more like a 37.5 hour week. But some days, like say Monday, I do 16 hours, and then the extra days are throughout the extra hours are across the week, which means I can move around a little bit. Yeah, what else have we got? Maureen had a good trip. Maureen came over from the UK. And one of the things I do want to mention, and the video will either be before this one or after this one, is things like the Ladies of Spain. The Ladies of Spain is a group of, you guessed it, women that live in Spain. But they're not only regular meetups where you can meet new people, but also they can be a bit of a useful support mechanism. They know where everything is. They've done so many different things, and it's got a varied age group. So there's a lot of people that can help you with the transition to Spain. Now I know Maureen's a single woman moving to Spain, and this is why I just wanted to throw that in there today, because I know of at least 4 women now wanting to move to Spain full time, and it's just working for that transition at the moment. You know, it's just working out, can they do it? Are they confident enough to make that leap? And one of the things I will say, Ladies of Spain's perfect group to engage with. You can start on Facebook, you don't even have to be in Spain yet, meet new people and see where it goes. The other thing is, don't forget we're here as well. One of the things that come up recently, somebody had a problem with a booking for accommodation and a problem with getting a commute to another place. We're always at the end of a phone, so if you do get stuck, we're quite happy to help out where we can. We managed to sort another apartment out. We managed to get them a lift in my car just to get them there. But it's one of the things people like us managing their properties for, because we do go that little bit extra. If someone's got a problem, and for example, on Friday I'll be fixing a toilet system for one of our tenants. Why do I do it? Because quite simply, it's a minor repair, and from a landlord's point of view, I don't want people coming in and go, no, I need to change change whole bathroom, you know. And so if it's a small repair, I do most of them myself, and there's a small management fee on a monthly basis anyway, and it's in that fee most of the time. You know, the parts aren't, but you know, if it only takes me an hour, you won't get charged for my labour. So the point being is, I'll go and change it, and you just get charged for the parts. Job done. But it also gives tenants a peace of mind, because they can call us up and say, Matt, for example, a few people have been locked out. We did another lockout. When was it? Last week or the week before? We don't charge for that. You know, unless I actually have to break into the place because you've left the keys in the door and there's no way opening it. But generally, even then, I can get into a property. But we don't really charge if we can help it. And this is one of the reasons people like us managing their properties. We're also moving into redecorations as well. I'm just waiting to see where work goes at the minute, along with my back, before we look at buying a van. We do have contractors as well, but I'm looking to get my own vehicle set up so I can start doing the air conditioning, locksmithing, general maintenance, painting and decorating, all those bits and pieces, all those lovely bits and pieces. And there's been a couple of people interested in coming to work for us as well at a later date. So things are progressing. Yeah, so that's where I am this week. I've got to admit, I'm a bit frustrated with the work in the UK at the moment, because I was originally brought on for one task and it's steering in a completely different one, and there's some people that are difficult to work with. So we'll see where that goes. I've had a couple of other companies headhunt me for other projects, so who knows. But the main thing I'm focused on at the moment is trying to be able to do it from Spain. The job I've got at the moment, they understand the state of my back, but at the same time, they do want me at a meeting at the end of this month, but most of the time be in the UK once a week or a couple of days a month. So the job does suit in that sense. It's just some individuals make it difficult. But beyond that, things are pretty good in Spain. One thing I will say though, going back to the politics stuff, is leaving political comments, foreigners go home and all that stuff. It's pathetic. It will just get deleted. I'm not going to engage with you. And I will say is a mix of the Spanish and those that are very pro-Brexit. I mean, the funny thing is, I don't understand what they're arguing about, because if they're so inclined to be living in the UK, etc., why are they on a Spanish channel? Very weird. But anyway, have a wonderful day. Hope all's going well, and take care.